We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Miss Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Hey man, did you see that AJ Brown has finally been traded to it's like the least kept secret in NFL history in terms of trades. Traded to the Patriots though, bro.
Yep, and don't care.
Don't care. Why don't you care though, man?
He ain't got nothing to do with the Bears.
Oh Lord, man. Let's get that music going then, bro.
Let's get it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you
of all
smell
time.
what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube, Facebook, and our new Twitch pages. We are live on both platforms, all platforms at the same time. Whenever you click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys and miss doing a thing. Ace Kennedy. Hey, so listen, I know you said that you wasn't so concerned about the AJ Brown, but did you also see that Myles Garrett recently got traded?
Yeah, so he got traded to the Rams, and so they basically saying like, "Hey, this is Super Bowl or bust for them, bro."
I like that though, man. I'm gonna be honest with you though, man. While I'm very much aware that as a Saints fan, and my team isn't nowhere near being a Super Bowl contender. I mean, I think that probably within the next maybe 3 years, I'd give it to where we might just be. But I'm not mad when I see a team make a big move like this to say, "Hey, we are all in." They gave up. I think it was Jared Verse, who was their guy last year, and I guess they just figured that, hey, man, we're just gonna get same position, just better though, man. And so I feel bad for Verse just because I think that the Rams were good. And after all, it's the Cleveland Browns. So that's always a terrible thing. But I think that Myles Garrett is pretty excited about it though, man.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sure. I'm sure he is, bro.
yeah. Listen, one of the things I think that's always interesting though, right, is that Myles Garrett was, he's number 95. And so when he came there, somebody else was already wearing 95, right? And so you kind of come across this little negotiation like, yo, what is it gonna take, right? To get that number. Now I remember one of the funniest things that I saw was that it was a kicker for the New York Giants some years ago. I remember when Eli Manning had came there and he was like, hey man, it's my number. I've been wearing it forever. What's it gonna take, basically, though, man? And I don't think that you could just go and offer straight cash for the actual jersey. But he was like, "Hey, man, I got a couple things around my house, though, man. If you can go ahead and knock out." So I think he had, Eli Manning pay for him to get like a new deck, new pool area, new fencing, and everything like that. And then it was like cool. And what's wild is I think he actually got paid two different times. I think there were two different quarterbacks that wanted them to take the number. And him as a kicker, I don't know that they're necessarily tied to these numbers like that, like quarterbacks are. But my question for you is this, though, man.
Mm-hmm.
If Myles Garrett, if you're wearing number 95 and you're the kicker on the team, and you don't think that, hey, they're going to think we could just cut you and that's just it. And he says, Ace Kennedy, what is it going to take for you to go ahead and give up this number? What would your demand be?
Bro, you gotta come up with the Lambo, bro.
No, it's gonna take a Lambo.
He got it, bro. He got it.
He gotta have. And listen, with all things considered, I'm not mad at that because all of your marketing as a player is based around you and that number, right? So you cut me the Lambo. I would imagine that just your association with the number, you're gonna get that back. Not that you already got the money, you do, but the association alone means you already got it, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's shooting high. You know what I'm saying? Because if he counter, like, hey, bro, I'll whatever, whatever. So you gotta shoot high first, bro. You ain't gonna just start with the low ski.
Well, you know what I think I would do if I'm in this same house that I'm in now. I'd bring him around and say, "Listen here, man, my man cave. This is what I'm looking to do. You hook this on up for me, though, bro. You can have the number." And then we'll be finishing it all the way up. I mean, like my man cave is almost done. It's like maybe not, I'm not gonna say halfway, it's like 40%. What I want to do, but I'm not saying you to write an empty check. I'm just saying, hey, I want to have a contractor come on in. They tell me what it's gonna take. You say, all right, that's good. And I think that with all things considered, it probably wouldn't cost 50,000, right?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to go with the G wagon, bro.
I love G Wagons, by the way, though, man. I'm not mad at the G Wagon.
Yeah, I think a
It
G
would be
wagon.
that,
Yeah,
yeah. And you know what else it would be for me? I would tell him it would be two cars, actually. I would have him go and say, listen, this is my girl Billie Jean, right? I want you to restore Billie Jean. Frame off restoration. I want to be able to drive Billie Jean from Atlanta to Cali, right? With no problem at all. Tip top. But then I would also say, I always been wanting me a vert. Give me an old school vert though, bro. And we can be straight with that. So you give me a 6'4", I got the 6'5" in Billie Jean. If you give me the 6'4", or if you give me even Eleanor is probably costing somewhere around 200. So you ain't got to go Eleanor. But you give me something else though, man, and I'll be like, yeah, that would be worth it to me though, bro. You can have it at that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not so mad at that though.
yeah. I'm much more interested in college football anyway than I am concerned about what the NFL gonna do. To be honest, I mean, I'm gonna root for my Bears, and based upon last year, hopefully we can make some bigger moves this year. But at the same time, still, I'm concerned about what Texas gonna do, especially after my Thunder Boys lost. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see what Texas gonna do, especially after the controversy too. That would be that's something we gotta talk about too.
I'm not mad at that because I think that if I had to decide, right? If I had to decide as a Saints fan and a Longhorn fan, which of those would I want to see win a championship first? I would definitely say the Longhorns, right?
Absolutely,
And it would,
absolutely,
yeah, and it wouldn't be a hard decision, right? I like the Saints, but at the same time, I think that the reason for it is that there are more college teams, right? So the likelihood of your team getting there is smaller and slimmer. I think that there are more factors to me that go into your NFL team being good or great or being
yeah,
contenders. But I think that the biggest one that you have in college football is the sheer numbers game. And so, because of that, I certainly agree with you, man, that I would much rather see the Longhorns win a championship before my NFL team.
yeah. Well, let's get into this controversy unless you got some more NFL stuff you want to get into.
Nope, let's do it.
All
No,
right.
whoa, 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 wait. Just for the record, the Falcons and paid Drake London like 100 mil guaranteed. By the way,
Yeah,
though,
saw that.
that's only the only significance in me saying that is that they are in my conference, right? And I'm
Mhm.
in Atlanta, though, man. So, which by the way, let me tell you one thing that was interesting. So shout out to my other brother from another mother, my boy Ben, the Fresh A Boss. He said, listen, man, I went to a Falcons game out there, Mercedes-Benz, and I got their top of the line treatment one time with their top of the line suite. He said, listen, man, he said, it almost made me a Falcon fan right off the back. He's a diehard Cowboy fan, by the way, though. So I thought about that, though, man, with Drake London, just because of his experience. We were just talking about that the other day. But they paid the boy. Listen, he's their best player. And I think that you can very easily say that he is the best wide receiver in our conference anyway, or in our division. So that was that though. What we got though, man? Let's talk about the controversy.
All right. So Sark was having a conversation and he basically was like, look, there's another team in our state. And the way they schedule is set up, I think my 2s and 3s could win their conference or with that schedule. And so lo and behold, the Texas Tech coach was like, yo, you talking about us? Like, I know you're not talking about us. He said, so this is what we gonna do. He said, I already talked to my 2 front teams. They'll just go ahead and play each other and we'll pay out their contract. And y'all Texas, so I know y'all got it. So why don't y'all pay out y'all's contract and y'all come to Lubbock week 1, and then we'll see if your 2s and 3s can beat us. And if for some reason y'all don't want to pay for the contract, we'll pay that too. Or if you really want the smoke, we can holler at Jerry World and we can pull up to AT&T. We can pull up to Jerry World and get this bid going and see who want to pick up the game if you want to run that.
Hey, listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I'm a Texas fan, and I understand what Sark is basically saying, though, right? And this is the thing that I don't like about Sark saying that. Let me put this out there first. What I don't like about Sark saying that is that he sounds like all of the SEC teams and fans before Texas went to the SEC, right? Now that they're in the SEC, people used to say that about Texas as well. They say, oh, well, your conference is so easy. All you have to worry about every year is OU and not losing to some team that y'all have no reason with. So I get that now that Sark is a part of the SEC and now he's going through the gauntlet and outside. If I'm just being completely subjective, I'm just saying that it seems like he's only saying that now that he's no longer in that division.
I
with
disagree
that being
with you on. Go
okay,
ahead.
go ahead,
Go ahead.
Okay, but with that being said, though, right? I'm not mad at Texas Tech saying it because with all things equal, if NIL is the key these days, Texas Tech had a squad last year and they paid for it, right? And everybody does. But I think that I'm not mad at them for saying, listen, this ain't the Texas Tech before after Michael Crabtree, right? And so I'm not mad at him for saying, well, we can settle this real easy. Let's line them up though, right? And Sark, I think that Sark can say that because I don't think that can actually happen. Like I don't know how you
it could
analyze a forfeited game. I don't know how it would happen though.
Easy. McAfee had the solution. He said, "Listen, bro, college game day is going to LSU week 1 because of whatever game they got." He said, "But bro, we can start the season off and do this game on a Thursday." Because if they buy out the other schools' contracts, they're just gonna play each other. And
I don't know who they play. Like I don't know who Texas plays. But if you're playing against you're playing against Texas Southern and you're playing against Colorado State, sure. All right, if you was already paying the school $2 million, what I'm saying, then I'm sure buying them out and you having the Texas game is going to be a bigger bag for you overall anyway. So I'm not mad at the notion of doing that.
So it could hypothetically work, but the here's the thing though. The reason why I disagree with what you were saying, because Sark is just doubling down on a statement that he made last year about the playoffs. He was basically saying, like, how y'all penalizing us? We played Ohio State week 1 and lost and only let them score 2 touchdowns. And yes, we struggled in some other games, but we ultimately won them. And yes, we then lost to Florida State. But outside of that, with 3 losses, we still got a strength of schedule. Like, so if that's the case, we can just start stacking our schedule with the weak stuff. If that's how we gonna play it, if strength of schedule is not gonna be a criteria piece, that's what he was doubling down on. So
Alabama did that for years. Alabama would basically stuff their schedule full of cream puffs, and the only time that Alabama would actually have a great game would probably be until they played against Georgia, though, man. So nah.
yeah, but here's the problem though, right? Alabama was doing that when was it BTS? Is that what it was called?
BCS.
Huh?
BCS.
BCS. Yeah. I don't know, DTS. The BT, like when that was in place, that's what they was doing. But now that we got this 12-team playoff, then it's like there's more opportunity for teams. Like 4-team playoff, I get it. You probably ain't gonna get but nothing but people who went undefeated. But now that it's 12 teams and there's more criteria, part of that was strength of schedule. So he was only doubling down on that. And I get it.
And that's another thing. I don't even know if I like the whole 12 teams, to be honest. That's a lot,
they're
though.
moving to 16. They're gonna move to 16.
Yeah, I don't want to see all of them. I don't listen. This is what I'm saying. I don't care to see whoever it is. If it's one of the blue bloods, I don't care that if Alabama or Texas is ranked, and if they're 8-2 and they're ranked number 12, 13, it's like, no, do what you gotta do to get there. And I'm not gonna say you gotta win every game, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to see like Clemson, right? Clemson is like Clemson goes 9-1, right? But then Alabama goes I don't know, 9-3 or whatever it is, right? And they say, oh, well, our schedule was tougher than y'all's. And and so it's like, no, I don't want to see all these other ancillary games. I just give me the best.
Right,
All I need is that best 8. I don't need to see past 8.
Right. But with the criteria that's in place, with the 12
Sure.
teams, my thing is that strength of schedule should have some validity to it. Because again, like you said, you don't want a cream puff in the playoffs that's gonna get smoked on the first game. Like you want the games to be competitive. And so my thing is that if your strength of schedule has to weigh in there some kind of way. I don't have the answers. I'm not sitting here saying that I know how it should work. All I'm saying is they created the system. They have the minds to figure out, like, yo, hey, this team did lose twice, but they lost 3 times. But shoot, they played the national champions the first game of the season. Like something. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but and that's fair. But I think it let's just be specific. In Texas scenario, right? In the Texas scenario, you beat Florida. This is not even a conversation, right? And that's my thing. Is like I don't want to, like, even if it's my team, I can't overlook Florida. And so with that being said, but I do feel like, right? Like, just to say, as someone who's been living in SEC country for the better part of 20-something years, right? I've always heard people say something about strength of schedule, right? When it comes to before the BCS, it's always been that. And so now, though, I feel like Sark is just kind of jumping on that wave as well now that he is an SEC school.
I still disagree with you, because here's the thing. While we lost to Florida, that's only 2 losses in the conference. We're talking about a non-conference game against a ranked opponent. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Sark's talking about. I understand. So again, all he's saying is doubling down on what he said. Like, all right, if this is how we gonna do it, if strength of schedule is not gonna be, then all right, we'll start setting our schedule up with the cream puffs.
You got to do that then. You got to do something. You got to do that. And my thing is that if you do that, you better know that your guys are damn good. You got to know that your 2 and 3s can beat other guys' ones. Like, I don't want to hear you say that, and then you get all the way there, and then you look like some of these Boise States and all these other guys who get high up there and lose one of those games. And that's not just Texas. I'm talking about any team that does that, though, bro. So I get it, though, man.
I get it, but that was the controversy. Like I said, like you said, I don't think it's gonna happen. And it does, Texas Tech can basically say, hey, We put it on the table, and the boys ran from that
We
smoke.
put it out there, and they ran from that smoke, though. And listen, you can even have it as a spring. You can have it as an early game, a summer camp game. I don't care what it is. I gotta see it. Keep the score. Let me see the end, though, bro. And but if you're telling me though, right? Listen, Sark, don't piss me off. Because if you gonna tell me that our 2s and 3s can win a whole nother conference, this should be a national championship team. And this is when I was telling you before, when we had this conversation where we were like, oh, you know what though, man? Like you shouldn't just feel like an obligation or that we're deserving all the time of being a. I think we had this conversation where we were just something like to the effect of like an Alabama fan. They always think, oh, well, yes, we should always be contending or all this sort of stuff. I think when you tell me something like that, Sark, then you're telling me that it is championship or bust, at least this season, because if we got whole
Oh,
second string
it
players,
definitely is
third string,
championship bust for us
this
this
is
year.
the championship or bust this year, bro.
This year, because after this, Manning gone, bro.
I get it. And that's the bad part is that he ain't going. I don't see him going to the Saints either, though, bro. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible, though. You know what team? Now that I'm thinking about that, I don't even know what NFL teams out there besides maybe Pittsburgh that needs a
Dolphins.
quarterback though. Oh yeah, the Dolphins. Well, they got Malik Willis, and I think it depends on what I'd let Malik Willis go for Manning though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into it. Let's get it over with. The Thunder Boys then lost,
Yep.
and the chatter all over the internet is about my boy Chet. And you know, people is out here ready. You know, first of all, I'm a Texas boy living in Oklahoma, so I don't typically root for Oklahoma-based teams, but the Thunder I adopted because of the fact I was here when they birthed. So whether they was good, whether they was terrible, I've been a Thunder fan. With that being said, I know how Oklahoma fans are. If somebody messes up, they want them out. So Chet had a bad series with the Spurs. So 7 games, right? And now they ready to trade him. And I'm like, bruh, did you forget the rest of the season? Did you not see the evolution of Chet from the year before to the Chet that was this year? Like, he was an all-star this year. This man was in the running for defensive player of the year.
All NBA?
Yeah. I'm just saying. And here's the crazy thing. In my opinion, Chet on another team would be the second option. And on the Thunder, he is the third option. But of course, Jalen Williams being hurt, J-Dub out pretty much most of the year. He played 33 to 35 games this year. So Chet had to step up and show why I feel like he's a number 2. And for the most part, killed it. But for some reason, San Antonio is his kryptonite, and he did not show up, especially in Game 7. The man did not shoot the ball in the fourth quarter. I mean, in the second half, he didn't shoot the ball.
The same number of shots you and I took.
Right. But here's my thing. This is why I'm like, everybody needs to relax. This is literally Chet's 3rd year playing in the league. And yes, he won a championship the second year that he played. Get that. So the expectations is high. Plus you getting paid, the expectations is high. Understand all of that. But Chet is going to have to live with this all summer. He got to rewatch that tape. He got to hear everybody talking about Oklahoma should trade him. He got to hear that all summer. I guarantee you, Chet will be back and better than he was last year. That's my opinion. And that's why I'm like, these fair weather Thunder fans need to shut up and sit down somewhere, bro. I put it out there on Facebook today as a thing just to get them going. And me and your boy Chris Lance, of all people, me and him was going back and forth. And I'm just like, bro, first of all, you ain't even no Thunder fan. But two, soon as he said, this is where I just stopped talking to him. 2 things he said. One, he says, Chet has reached his ceiling. I said, he reached his ceiling after 3 years in the NBA? That's it? Like, bro, soon as you said that, then he says, yeah, and the Thunder are trying to catch up to the Spurs. Trying to catch up. So we took them to game 7. We were out without J-Dub. We was out without AJ. They full strength, barely beat us. I said, see, because you just by you saying that, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. Conversation over. He gonna talk about some. Remember this conversation. I say you do the same because you already know. I already screenshotted it, waiting for the receipts. Waiting for the receipts.
You gonna make it rain in receipts,
Oh
huh?
my gosh, bro, I can't wait. So, Chris, you know, brother, I'm coming back for you next year, brother, because you got it this year. But you're gonna try to say, I know the reason why you can't see it because your heart is in the Thunder. That ain't got nothing to do with anything, bro. Anybody that knows anything about basketball knows that man Chet can't do nothing but get better. This is his 3rd year in the league. He's young still. But anyway, I rest my
I
case.
take Chet Steele over Julius Randle any day. So get that, put that some context. Here's what I think about that though, bro.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that is interesting is that, like I said, Chet opened himself up to all of this because of how bad he played this series, though, bro. And I understand that you said it was just this series, though, bro. But this was enough to me to just make you remember, just forget about all of the other positives throughout the whole entire year. It erased everything because it reminds me of conversation I had with my boy Cinematic, my Detroit Cinematic. Say what up, dope. So my boy Cinematic says, listen though, bro, Jalen Duren, just everything that I thought he was, it just got washed when I saw that when you got to go 7 games with somebody and they can game plan on you, you get exposed. Either you get exposed and it's your shortcomings, or you actually show what you really can do. It's one or the other. And so I think that the big thing is that, like you said, the Spurs have always been that. Where I think that Chris Lentz is probably saying that is that the Spurs aren't going anywhere. And the same way how Chet's gonna get better, Wimby is gonna also get better. The Spurs as a unit gonna also get better. Do I think that this would have made a difference if J-Dub was there and healthy? Okay, sure. I think it would have, because not just the scoring, J-Dub plays defense, right? And I think that's the one thing I think that would have made a big difference. I do think so. I think that I don't think that with the Spurs that I don't think that the Spurs within this series that Chet would have played much different if J Dub was there. And how we might not ever know that. I'm just gonna tell you that based off of how he's played against Wemby specifically, though, bro, that's just what I expect. Now, I didn't expect for it to be as bad, right? But I didn't expect for him to go and he turned up and he's gonna go for 25 a game, 26 a game, or whatever, though, man.
But here's
with
the
that,
thing. Here's the thing. Number one, we're saying this as though with 3 minutes or 2 minutes left in the game, the Thunder wasn't down 4. If we would have won the game, hold on. If we would have won the game, the conversation would have been like this: that boy Chet didn't show up, and that's it. And
no.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Listen,
I don't think so.
Listen,
if you tell me that,
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. There's another person that didn't have a good series. Matter of fact, there's another person that didn't have a good series entirely in the playoffs. Goes by the name of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai had some good games, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not have a great series the entire playoffs. Shai didn't have a good. So what, y'all ready to trade Shai now? I'll wait.
No. That's different.
What's different?
No.
What's different?
The biggest difference is, I'm going to tell you I think that even though Shai didn't play as well as he played, you can still tell that he was actually leading. And I think that the biggest difference is that, to me, I don't think that Shai just shrunk. He was trying. It's just shots wasn't falling. He just had a bad series, but you never question his effort.
Shai,
Wait. You asked me. No, you asked me. I'm going to tell you. You asked me. I'm going to tell you. Shea looks like Shea was taking the same shots that you saw him take, and he was playing the same way. He just, to me, didn't make the same number of shots. You saw that in this particular playoffs, he still had those games where he had double-digit assists, even though his points were down. He still played against his own standards in the regular season, and the MVP, you saw that he didn't play as well. But how bad Shea played, you can't excuse it. I don't think that there's no way you can compare the Shea to Chet, because Chet just completely disappeared.
This is the comparison. Is because Chet was great the rest of the playoffs outside of this series.
He was okay. He wasn't great, bro. You said great. He was okay.
Charles, you full of your okay. So where did the other scoring and stuff come from if Shea wasn't having his time? That came from Chet and the rest of the squad. What are you talking about?
No. It did come from Chet and the rest of the squad, but don't emphasize Chet. Don't see that. That's where you go. Let's go to let me just go ahead. Let me pull up this because see, yeah. Now you got it because you got a lot. I know that you're trying to make your point and everything. A lot of cap in here though, bro. Lot of cap in this, and I just want to make sure that I'm looking at that. We're talking about that we're being, and I would be the first to tell you that I was wrong if this man didn't. Let me just go back to this boy's stats, man. Let me see something, homeboy.
For the audio listeners, he's pulling up the stats.
Ace Kennedy, man, you better, man, bruh. So Chet had 2 games where he scored 24 points, right? Mm-hmm. 2 games of 24 points. Mm-hmm. Okay. After that, he scored. Wait, no. We just talking about Chet. We are just talking about Chet. No, but okay, but listen, I don't want to jump around. I just want to make this point.
Those 2 games, what was those games? What was those games?
Listen, he had when he played the Lakers, the first game, he scored 24. And actually, yeah, he scored. Hold on, no, I'm looking at that. He scored 24, and then he scored 22, right?
Yeah.
And then after that game, he scored 18, then 16. So he went high at 24, and then dropped every time after that. He never scored more than 20 points again.
But what I'm saying, what I said was Chet and the rest of the squad is what got us through those series. So don't
understand that, but
okay.
No, so what I'm saying is that they did it in spite of Chet.
Okay, now go to what he scored in the Spurs game. Go to what he scored in the Spurs game. What was his point?
4, 10, 16, 10, 14, 13, 8. That was in reverse. So what I'm saying is that this is my thing. At a minimum, if you want to tell me that Chet just scored his average, his regular season average. Okay, cool, right? His regular season average is only about 17 a game.
Right. So he did above average. He did. So
he didn't.
No. Time out. You just said with Shea, I compared him to Shea. So you just got done saying that Shea was still doing the same stuff he was doing in the season. So then Chet don't get the same respect. He's doing what he did.
No.
So that's what I'm talking about. You can't move the goalpost because my comparison was to him, Chet to Shea. That's what I said. I said if we're gonna keep that same energy, then we should also trade SGA, right? That was
Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
Ace Kennedy. What I'm saying is that overall, in this series, right? And this one, because Shea didn't have a good one, but he had some games where the Spurs, he didn't play up to his normal standard though, right? But for the most part, he was there. But what I'm trying to tell you is that Chet was so much off of his season averages.
Right. In the Spurs series. Is what I said in the top of the whole
And I'm not even talking, it wasn't just, it's not just, it's off on everything.
So
listen.
He had a bad series. So 7 games versus the rest of the season. Yes. What do you mean? No, you're looking at the stats.
I'm looking at the stats, bro.
Right.
No, see, this is my thing about it.
Series. He had a bad series in the Spurs. That was my original.
He hasn't been playing. No, this is my thing. I'm saying to you is that in the very first series, that was the only series. It may be okay. Let's say the Lakers, if you want to average out his numbers with the Lakers, right? His averages was cool. But
Yep.
after the first game with the Lakers, listen, after the first game with the Lakers, all of his numbers were dropping. I mean, every
His
time after
numbers
that, it was drop,
dropping
drop, drop, drop.
because the rest of the team. So this is what I'm saying. This is what the Thunder have done all season long. We have different role players to do different stuff, because what you're not saying is what was Alex Caruso's numbers doing in the Lakers. So Chet didn't have to do that much. So what I'm telling you is this. What I'm telling you is this. Chet had a bad series with the Spurs. That's it.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what opens up Chet. Here's what opened up Chet to the conversations that you're basically saying. Because at the end of the day, people are saying Wemby ain't going nowhere. And while he's not guarding Wemby directly, right? And Wemby will guard him, right? Even though he's not guarding Wemby. So my thing is that if Wemby isn't going anywhere, and yeah, it was this series. So I'm not going to say trade Chet. I'm not saying that at all. I think that, listen, you can't tell me that just less than a year ago, you was winning the championship with him, right? And so I don't think like Chris said that he reached his ceiling. He's only going to get better, right?
Right.
I also think at the same things, two things can be true. We say it all the time. You open yourself up to say, well, what would the Thunder look like, right? If you had a swap out of Chet with, hypothetically speaking, Giannis, right? Who seems to be available. You got Chet and you got all them draft picks that you can do, right? I think that the Thunder looks different. And so from that perspective, I would very easily favor the Thunder over anybody with Giannis. And it's not to say that Chet isn't good. I'm just saying that whatever Chet's giving you, Giannis would be able to give it. And I've never seen Giannis just completely flop in the playoff. Never.
Understood.
So I'm
But
just
you're
saying that at
talking
this
about
point,
once again, but we're talking about if Chet was whacked the whole playoffs, I can understand the conversation. But you missed me with the conversation with that man having a bad series. This is my thing.
he's not been as good as you think he's been. That's all I'm saying.
No, you see, what you're not understanding is I watched every single game of the Thunder play the playoffs. So
we missed like 2 or 3 games.
Okay, but apparently we saw different games because you didn't think Chet did that well. What I'm saying is Chet didn't have to do as much as he needed to do in the Spurs series because the rest of the team was there. Alex Caruso, there's a reason why people were saying, dang, Alex Caruso is going to be my finals MVP if the Thunder make it. There's a reason why people were saying that, because Alex Caruso does not do that in the regular season. So if Chet is giving you what he gave you in the regular season, except for the last series, because since when did McCain start scoring 20, 26 points, 18 points? McCain wasn't doing that in the regular season. So all I'm saying is this is the identity of the Thunder, to have the rest of the role players step up. So that's what I'm saying. You missing me trying to say that
I love the depth. I love the depth, and that's
the thing that wasn't there in San Antonio. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and applaud the Thunder for the depth and then say the depth was their problem this time around. They just had some guys that was injured. I get that, but I think at the same time, though, bro, this is my thing. I think that the same way that I would criticize James Harden for his no showing, I gotta give it to Chet, though, bro. I gotta give it to him the same way.
Where am I saying not to criticize Chet? Again, everything you're saying are not my point.
It up, but
right,
to me,
what
he
I'm
opens
saying is
it up
this,
to
though.
all of them.
Yes, and again, I started my statement with saying I understand people are gonna say this stuff, and Chet has to live with that for the summer. I said that. The only thing that I said was, miss me with the trade Chet stuff. That's what I said. He's gonna hear it. He's gonna hear the commentators. He's gonna hear Oklahoma fans. He's gonna hear a bunch of people talking about how he fell apart this series, because they wasn't saying that in the Lakers series. They wasn't saying
Chet is gonna have to play good against the Spurs every single time, bro.
And guess what?
He's going to every single.
That's why I said, though, this loss and the way that he lost he got to live with that, and he better
Yeah,
put
he
that.
looked bad, bro.
He did, and he guess what? He better not become James Harden. He better find it within. He better get back because he
That's it.
trains with KD over the summer.
Yeah.
So
He looked as bad. It was James Harden level no show. And
that's
listen, Jalen Duren also from Detroit, because and he's young. He's been in for about as long as Chet. He is right there. And listen, they're getting close. Julius Randle, they're getting in his company though, bro. And listen, all it takes is for me to see this from you 2 times, 2 years now, and it only happened to him once. So I could go ahead and I could shoot him some bail. You know, whatever how you did, whatever your blueprint was from last year, it worked. And there's no reason why I think that the Thunder should veer away from what they've
I don't
already
either,
been doing.
which is why you will never hear me say bring Giannis to Oklahoma, because that's going to destroy what we are building. Here's my thing. Only thing that I'm saying is this: Chet had a bad series. That's where I stand on it. Everybody else can see what they want to see. Chet had a bad series, but this loss is going to affect him. And here's the other thing. Let me say this: I'm not making excuses that we had the 2 injuries, because we won other games without J-Dub, and we won other games without AJ. So that wasn't even it. All I'm saying is if we would have won game 7, people would have been focusing on us playing New York. And they would have mentioned that, hey, the Thunder won, but I'm going to need Chet to step up. That's what they would have said. Not ready to trade him. Especially if we won another championship. Especially if we won another championship.
The only thing now, the only thing that erases that is a championship, bro. A championship is the biggest. Listen,
no, that's not the only thing that's going to erase it.
No, listen, the championship is putting the cologne on funk, bro.
No, listen. The thing that's going to change people's minds is what you said originally. He got to play better against the Spurs, and we see them 4 times a year. That's it.
Listen, no. If Chet played bad against the Spurs every single game and they won the championship, it doesn't matter to me. It's just, hey, I'm gonna say I look at it like this.
But I'm saying
right. But what I'm saying is that to me, as a basketball fan and a fan of the Thunder, I think this is the part that made me disappointed in Chet. It wasn't that the numbers didn't support it. I questioned his effort. It made me question his heart, right? So my thing is that if I can see, listen, but if I can see that you are out there really giving it all, it isn't showing up in the stat sheet, right? It isn't all this. I can live with that, especially if you're winning the championship. But if I look at the end of that, you don't win the championship, and I go back and I don't forget not that your numbers dropped off. But your effort made you look like a different person.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right.
Yeah,
and he's gotta live with all of that. He gotta go back. He has to go back and rewatch that whole series and see how he didn't show up. And what I'm saying is
the championship temporarily winning a championship would have put some cologne on that funk, bro.
It would.
I don't care what nobody say. It would have put some.
It would have, and nobody would have been talking about trade Chet. Because
nobody would have been talking about trading Chet if you win a championship, right? Because it could have. It's a matchup, right? It's for 7 games. He just met there's other players that Chet doesn't match up well with either, right? Hence the need that they went and got Hark, right? So I get that.
Yeah, and so next year we got Soyber coming, so I want to see what he do. I don't know what because I hear rumblings that the Thunder are trying to move up to the 5th spot. And so who knows what we're going to pull there. And we got a lot of roster moves that we got to do over the summer anyway. We got to figure out what we're doing with Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Wiggins, Isaiah Joe. Like there's a bunch. The Thunder are going to shift. And if you don't think
going to shift.
And if you don't think that we're going to get better with the roster, you fooling yourself.
I think that I think that the Thunder can do addition by subtraction. Unfortunately, it also means that you could very well be losing at least three guys that are starter-worthy guys on other teams, though, right? And I think that always is going to hurt because, like you saw in this playoffs, you get AJ Mitchell come out of nowhere and catch fire, right? You get Caruso who can carry you for a whole game. You get McClain who can carry you for almost a half a series, all right? When you got some shortcomings, though, man. So I get it. I think also they're well positioned though to be able to take that on the chin and then
and come
still
back.
be able to go ahead and come back just as solid though,
That's what
man.
I'm
And
saying.
it's
If you think that the Thunder are not going to come back stronger next year roster wise, then you fooling yourself and you don't know basketball. Sam Presti is built for this, literally.
rest of the business.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
else we got, bro? Oh,
Oh my
oh,
God.
oh, we gotta get into it. What you got? Because I got some.
Well, real quick. With that being said, Knicks and Spurs, who you got?
Um, honestly, I think the Spurs is gonna pull it off. Now, if it's up to the NBA, see, the NBA wins either way with this one. They win either way because if New York wins, that's just what But if Wemby wins, that's the peak person who they're crowning. So let Wemby win Finals MVP or something like that, and so that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna ride with the West. I'm not gonna pull I'm gonna switch to the other side because they beat my Thunder. Like I'm just riding with the West. So I'm gonna say the Spurs. Spurs in 6.
I'm hoping the Spurs in 6 though, man. I got this cat that I go to the gym with though, man. He is like exactly what make me hate the Knicks and the Knicks fans. He comes there with his Knicks slides, shorts, shirt. He has a Knicks wave cap, Knicks socks, and it's just disgusting. And I'm like, I hope that they get them boys out of there in 6 games because, like I said, I hate the Knicks, and nothing would do my heart better than to see them get to the highest stage and have the longest fall. So yeah, I'm hoping that the Spurs win, and I'm not necessarily rooting for the Spurs as a fan of them. I just root for them as a hater of the Knicks. Plus, it makes me. It's still Landon, who was the Warriors fan of all fan and wanted to go down in their fan wing of the Hall of Fame. I thought at first this boy was just rooting for Wimby because maybe he said I don't want to see the Thunder win a championship or back to back, and now he is like a Spurs fan now because Stephen Castle is from Norcross and it's Gwinnett, and it's like, oh my gosh, he seems like he's a sack chaser now, though, bro. I'm like, get off the nuts. But anywho,
That boy out there
um,
glazing them boys.
just glazing and just jump ship though, man. I'm like, yeah,
That's whack. Hey, bro. The GOAT then came back to the mic.
Jay-Z. I didn't know. See, I didn't know where you was going with that. I didn't know where you was going with that.
Hey, Jay's freestyle, bro. What we saying about it, bro?
First off, Hope came out there, man. They said it took him 4 hours to comb out his locks, right? So he came out there, throw it out, looking like Bone Thugs, right? I loved it though, man. As a fan of Jay-Z, the fact that he came out with the freestyle tells me that he's been writing, right? And granted, I don't think that you could, especially in this scenario, it's understanding the moment. So you have all of the times where you've not said anything publicly where you have Nicki Minaj saying her piece. You got Dame Dash who says something about Jay-Z every single chance he gets. I saw him do a response about that here recently. You got Drake getting out there and saying his piece. And that was one of the things I thought that was going to be because listen, we said it before. I think that with all things considered, I like that Drake. I like how Drake addressed his beefs, right? Where it was like subtle shots. And so I like that Jay-Z did the same way, but in a very witty Jay-Z way where you got to know who he was talking about on those, though, man. And so I don't think that it's going to be, I don't know that it's going to be a true Jay-Z Drake beef, right? Um, because I'm gonna be honest with you though, man. I've seen Drake go there before, and I don't want to see it again, right? I've seen Jay-Z go through that, and it's hit or miss on who you say won. It was a very close one with Nas and everything, right? But I'm always in when something like this results in great music being put out,
Yeah.
right? And if Hove is actually, if this implies that he has some music potentially on the way, then as a fan, I'm excited.
Yo, that was one of the hardest shots to me was the Drake one because he said, go ahead that tough talk with them because your contract says perpetuity." Bro, just everything he said about the Drake thing was fire. It was
I
fire.
love it.
But
I
the
love it. And
other part where he
I
said,
love the intro.
yeah,
Turn my music high. That's the part that I love too. How it parlayed into it though.
yeah. And he said, and Quest introduced me to Jaguar, right? And I don't even know why.
No, you know what? I'm cool with him. Like, listen, though, bro. Incredible. Like, bro, it was so like this is my thing though, bro. Like, this is why for me, right, that I'm a big Jay-Z fan because it's like understanding the moment, right? And I think that that's why I'm a big Kendrick fan as well. And even with that said, man, I think one of the things that to me that I appreciated about it is that it also spoke to Drake's worthiness, though, right? The fact that he responded to him, right, was something, though, man. So it's like, all right, well, Drake name is heavy. I've seen where Jay-Z hasn't responded to certain people, though, man. And so I'm not mad at it though, bro. I don't think that Drake's gonna come back with nothing else, though, man. But I appreciate the moment being what it is, though, bro.
Yeah. And the other thing is that when he said, yo, I ain't never looked up to them. Y'all looked up to me. Like that.
Yeah, no, I loved everything about it, though, man. And what I think is real dope is that I saw if you go on I think it's either World Star or All Hip Hop, somebody put all of the freestyles to a beat, and the beat's very simple, but it still sounds hard. Like it's real slick hearing it to a beat though, bro. And I'm pretty sure it's AI, right, that they did it with, but it sounds incredible though, man. I was like, yo, with the right beat, it would have even sounded that much harder though, bro. So I'm not mad at it though. But it was real dope, man. That I was excited to see my boy Hove get out there though, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I gotta go see. You said Dame Dash respond. I gotta see what he said.
Yeah, he's on the Art of Dialogue, and he's basically responding. He was just kind of like, yeah, this Jay-Z out there rapping like that. I would have never signed him if he was this guy. Like I would have never been interested in signing him with how he's being presented and all of the stuff though, man. And so, but Dame's already he's backtracked a lot on Jay-Z and where he stands in terms of like how like his boys used to clown him from us being associated with Jay because he wasn't like a fly dude and all this other stuff though, man. And he was talking about, you know what I'm saying, back when he was talking about back when he talked about an example of when Jay flipped it when he had the button ups with the jeans and everything, like that wasn't a thing. And it was. I don't like how and this is I'm a fan of Dame Dash, but I don't like how he is starting to make the people who do like him not like him as much though, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Old man Dame
already
old man Dame.
Like
he need to sit down somewhere, bro.
Yeah, it's like Dame to me. Dame already is like not everybody's cup of tea. Like it's like you really like him or you really don't. Now the people who really do, you're kind of like, that's why people don't like you, bro. And I still like Dame though, man. I think that he seems like, as much as people say about how he was bad for business, he's like one of those people to where it's like if he's on your team, you love him, but if he's not, then you hate him though, bro. So I'm not mad at that, but I don't like how he's kind of spinning the block on his takes with Jay-Z, even some of it on Cam and everything. And it's just like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Well, man, what else we got for these people before we let them go?
I think we checked off everything though, bro.
That's what's up.
Listen, I meant to ask you though, I'm about to ask you, have you seen the Mando?
Going to see it tonight.
Oh man, this is the thing. Seeing that in my family, I'm the only one that really wanted to go see it. I think I might try to slip out sometime this week and go see it.
Tuesday nights be the cheap night, bro. $7 movies.
I don't think it's like that out here. Is that ain't a nationwide thing with AMC? Is it
Regal with Regal? Yeah, they got the RCC nights. Yeah,
and we ain't got no Regal by us, man.
Oh well, then that makes the
Yeah,
difference.
we got all it. Listen, but I do think I'm gonna try to slip out, go see it solo
See,
dolo, man.
I love going to see movies by myself, bro, because I ain't got to worry about nobody but me. Oh, that's all day. I can do that
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah, I never see. I think that for me, doing that would be perfect to see it during the day, and I think I might slip out and do it though, man. I actually think I might take off and then probably go see it like on Thursday,
Yeah.
sometime Thursday morning.
Nah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got to go
yeah.
check that Mando out. Real quick, did you watch that Jack Ryan movie yet?
Yes, I thought it was real dope, man.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they took my girl out though.
Oh man, and so listen, they did it in typical fashion. Like
Yeah,
they have the moment and everything like
yeah,
that. And then
yeah,
it's like I was like, yo, she about to die. And
yeah.
then boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wasn't surprised based off
But
of how
I
they
like
were
how they
setting her
played
on
it
up.
though. I like how they played it because it looked like oh boy was gonna get shot. Because they
Yes.
was like, oh, you opened yourself up, and the way he spinned around, and then I was like, okay, yeah, she about to go. Oh, last thing, bro. Did you finish Euphoria?
Now listen, I'm gonna sound like a complete non-fan, but I stopped watching Euphoria after season one. For no reason whatsoever. And so when I watch highlights of it now, I have no idea what's going on to where I'd have to go back and watch halfway through season one to go ahead and get caught back up.
But they at the beginning of the season, they always show the recap of the season before. They always do it.
Yeah, but even still though, man, like I gotta see them details though, man. And listen, for some, it just is. I know exactly what it is. It's one of those shows that I started watching with Neek, and then now if I just started watching it without her, like that's how she didn't have any problem. We were doing it with Godfather of Harlem, right? I was watching that with her, and then for some reason we fell back. And one day I'm just kind of like not doing nothing. I turn it on, folding up clothes, boom, I'm watching it, and she didn't say nothing, right? So I just said, all right, let me go ahead and finish it on up. But Euphoria is one that I think that she would be like, "Oh, whatever happened to that being one of our shows?" And blah blah blah. So,
Well, yeah, well, that spoiler is out there, bro. You better be careful. I know you spoilers don't ruin it for you, but it's bad, bro.
It don't, man. I definitely want to go ahead and see it though. I think it's on my list of ones. Before I go back and watch Game of Thrones again, I want to go ahead and watch it.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna give you a week, then I'm gonna spoil it for you.
Let's do it, man.
All right, bro. Let's get up out of here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
sucker?